everyone, welcome back to CS Coins. Today I'm going to be hunting for primarily silver. I got a bunch of customer wrapped rolls, mostly dimes and nickels. Those are the denominations I do best with customer wrapped silver in. I've also got pennies, even some half dollars. I just went to a bunch of different banks and just got customer wraps, whatever I could get. I got pennies just because like the bank that I got all those from, I've hit a lot of collection dumps at. I've gotten like full rolls of wheat pennies before, so I wanted to give that a shot. But we've got a lot of opportunity here. This is a lot of coins. I don't know exactly how many dollars worth, but we've got a full quarter box full of dimes and nickels, and then we've got this whole bank bag full of customer wraps. So I'm going to start on these halves. It's actually kind of interesting because some of these were marked 1976, which is a pretty worthless coin if they're not silver, pretty much. I mean, even proofs aren't worth that much. So I'm not expecting a ton with that, but that could mean some of the other rolls maybe have silver. So I think we'll start with those, work onto the dimes, and then just work our way down with denominations. Before I get going into these coins, I wanted to show you guys something that I picked up at one of the banks. I forgot to mention this when I was first showing all the coins, but we've got a Sacagawea dollar here. Because I asked one of the tellers if she had halves, and she said no, but I do have some small dollar coins, and she just pulled this one out. And from the reverse, I could tell this was an NIFC. It's a 2018 D Jim Thorpe. I believe that's going to be some kind of athlete. I don't know exactly who that is. I got to do my research, but these weren't made for circulation after 2012, so this is an NIFC, and that's a pretty cool find. So as you can see, the one roll was marked 1976 D, and it looks like that was correct. Like I said, these are pretty much only worth face value. I mean, there's so many of these minted, nobody really will go out of their way to buy these, like serious collectors won't. So unfortunately, I've already looked through the other ones. There was no silver, but just thought I'd show you guys that. It's kind of cool because people do dump. I mean, I've gotten a full roll of bicentennial quarters before and stuff, so people do dump these more minor collection dumps. It's just kind of cool to see, even though there's not a lot of value. So this is the big pile of dimes that I'm going to be hunting for silver. Hopefully we can get one. I would say this is probably close to a full box worth of dimes. I'd say like 250, 300 maybe. I'm really banking on silver with this one. Usually with this much in customer wraps, you have a pretty good chance. So I'll bring you guys back if we find any of that shiny goodness that we're looking for. Well, that was pretty upsetting. The dimes were a total bust. No finds at all. No silver, nothing. But we still got a bunch of nickels to look through. Hopefully that is a different story because that was rough. I hate getting skunked, especially with dimes. Having nothing to find is pretty terrible. So we'll get going on the nickels. Hopefully we can get some silver or some buffaloes going or something else cool. I'll show you guys when I get a find. I think I might finally be in luck on roll 10 of the nickels right here. I think we could have silver. Let's take a look. That is definitely silver. We got a P mint mark. 1944 war nickel, and it looks like could be some lamination issues going on the obverse there. It could be an error. I'll have to check with the microscope at the wrap-up, but really happy to be on the board with silver. I thought I might get skunked on all these coins because the dimes are so bad, but there's still hope. You gotta be kidding me. Look what was in the same roll. It's a 1950 and it looks good. Man, I got a 1950 D like just a few weeks ago. If I got another one, that would be insane. Let's see if we got a mint mark. Oh my God, another one. And this one looks good. It almost has full steps. Holy crap. Oh my God, that's insane. I thought I'd never find one again, and I found one like 3 weeks later. Oh my God, that is incredible. Guys, I am so hyped up about that. In the same roll as a war nickel. What is going on? Jesus Christ, 1950D, and that's got to be high AU or mint state. Oh my God, that's probably a $15 coin right there, but how did I find two in not even a month? I watch Rob Finds Treasure a lot, and he spent, I feel like he went like over 120 boxes without finding one. I'm speechless. This one was reverse facing, and unfortunately, we're not going to be lucky enough to have a second key date quite yet. We're going to have just a Philadelphia minted 1939. I don't see any doubling. But man, we're killing it with the nickels, and we are not too far in. Still can't get over that 50D. This is going to be an incredible hunt. Started out rough, but I can't believe these finds already. On the next roll, we've got another find. This one is a 49. No S for that semi-key, but I'll take another find. I got a really nice looking first year 38. I'm hoping we can get a second key date, guys. If we're going to have one, this is not a bad chance because it's in good shape. Typically, the ones in good shape have been in collections, so there's a higher chance that they have a mint mark. Let's see. Nope, that's just going to be a Philly, but I'm still happy about that. That is a nice 38, and I will put that with the keepers. A couple rolls later, I think we might get lucky and get a second war nickel. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And that looks to be in pretty good shape. It's not too worn. We got a 42p. That is a beauty of a war nickel. That looks really good. Man, what a great hunt this has been so far. One of the best nickel hunts I've ever had, I would say. I'm going to put this with the keepers, and we will keep at it. Maybe there'll be something else good in this roll. Roll 20. I think I'm going to have another silver. Let's check this out. Yep, 1943, San Francisco. Unreal. I'd go as far as to say this has been my best nickel hunt ever. Non-collection dump. I don't think this is a collection dump. We'll see. If I keep finding more nickels, it might be, but yeah, unbelievable. 3 war nickels and a key date, and we're not even halfway through the nickels I'm searching. Unbelievable. Roll 23. I already flipped this one around, so I know what it is. Nothing too special, but we do have a 47 Philly. It's going to be another old find to add to the pile. Next roll, 1949. Let's see if it has an estimate mark for a semi-key. And that's just going to be a Philly. Pretty close to the end of the roll, though. There's only 3 coins in, so we'll see if there's anything else. Let's see. It's not going to be a war nickel. It kind of fooled me, but let's dig into this roll. I'll bring you guys back when I get another find. There is going to be another old Jefferson in this roll. This one is going to be a 1946 Philly. Roll 25, we've got a pretty rough looking nickel, but to me this looks like a 1938 if I were to guess. I'm pretty sure I see the 3. No mint mark, unfortunately, that I can see, so I don't think it's a key date, but we will scope this one later just to see if we can get a better idea of the date. I think it is going to be a 38 though. Pretty beat up coin. Nothing else too crazy yet, but on roll 31, we've got a 1941 Denver. No more silver yet. I think we can find some though, hopefully. We do have a lot of rolls left. On the next roll, I missed this one somehow because it just kind of looked like a dirty yellowish edge. Did not really have that war nickel look to me, but we are going to have one. This one's going to be a 1944 Philadelphia, and it's in pretty decent shape. I think that's probably why I couldn't spot it off the bat. That's our 4th war nickel. That's pretty crazy. Hopefully we can get like 5 or 6 in this hunt. Roll 38 has got me another old Jefferson. This one's going to be a 1946, and we do not have a mint mark, so it's Philly minted. Roll 47 is going to give me an old reverse. I think we've got a 40s or 30s Jefferson, and we do. We have a 1946. The last nickel roll is going to give us one more find. This one's going to be a 1940 with a Denver mint mark. We've got the pennies now. I think I've probably got like 15 rolls, so we'll get into those and see if we can keep the luck alive. I just cracked open the second penny roll and saw this on the end. Like I said, I've gotten a lot of collection dumps from that bank, so I'm going to dump it out live and see if we get lucky. And not this time. I was really hoping that was a full roll, but it looks like it might just be that one. But let's take a look at that. 51D, nothing special really, but I'm glad to be on the board with wheat penny. Man, that's a little bit disappointing. I thought we were going to get a lot of wheat pennies in this roll, but that looks to be probably the only one. But I'll sort through here and just make sure, and I'll let you guys know if I get another find. Wheat pennies are going to stay hot into the next roll because it looks like we've got two here. Reverse facing and a 57D. So let's take a look at what we have here. That's going to be a 1941. Put that over there at the keepers and take a look at that other one. Yep, just a 57D. Pretty common, newer date in terms of wheat pennies, but hopefully there's something old in here. I'm going to look through the rest of this. There very well could be more. Obviously, somebody wasn't too mindful about what they were dumping into these rolls, so hopefully there's more. I'll let you guys know. Roll 5 of the pennies is going to give me something that's not a wheat penny, but I'm still happy with it. We've got a 2009 Philadelphia Lincoln commemorative cent. These are pretty cool to find. They probably will become pretty tough to find within the next like 30, 40 years, I would imagine. So always try to keep on to these. These shotgun rolls haven't been the kindest to me so far, but we are going to have a wheat penny in one of them. This one's going to be a 1955D. And I don't see anything else in the roll. Hopefully there is at least one more in these last few. Looks like the last penny roll is not going to disappoint. We have a wheat here. And this one is a 1950. So that's going to be 5 wheat pennies for these rolls. It's not too bad. Maybe we can squeeze out one more before the end of the roll here. We might be having some bonus footage to this video. I was able to go out today and get not a ton of coins, but I think I got a tray, maybe a tray and a half of nickels, and then I got about a tray worth of dimes. So we'll crack into those and see if we can get lucky. I'll start with the dimes and then we will check out the nickels. I'm only on roll 2 of the dimes and I think I'm already gonna have a silver. Let's check out what we have here. Definitely looks to be a silver Roosevelt. There's no mint mark. And we are going to have a 1964. Just a baby, and it's a little bit beat up. But I'm really happy with that. That's our first silver dime of the hunt. So we will add that to the pile and keep looking. Hopefully there is some more to be found. So unfortunately, none of those other dime rolls panned out. The 64 is the only silver that we pulled out. But I'm on nickel roll number 2 now, and we've got a pretty uncirculated looking 1959 here. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but the mint mark looks a little suspicious to me. It looks pretty thick. So I'm wondering if that might be an RPM. It looks like there could be 2 Ds punched there. But we will put that under the microscope and double check that because that does look really weird to me. I'm using that Star Power right now to get up nice and close to that mint mark, and I don't know what's going on there. I might need some help in the comments, guys. I'm not too sure on the RPM stuff. I don't really hunt for those very often. So for anyone that has found RPMs before, is this looking like a winner? I mean, to me, it does look like at least some kind of error because I mean, that does not look like a normal Denver mint mark. It's way thicker than it should be. Way more lengthy this way as well. Like typically it would be a little more condensed. So feel free to let me know in the comments if any of you guys might have a better idea about that. I'm going to pull it aside anyway because that is a beautiful 59D. That thing is pretty uncirculated, so I'm going to pull that to the side for sure. We'll check out the steps. Yeah, unfortunately there's not a lot going on there. But still a beautiful coin. Take another look at the obverse here. Yeah, that looks nice. Almost looks like my 50D over there. But we'll add that to the keepers. Like I said, if you have any idea in the comments, hit me up. Because RPMs are like one of the only errors that I have never found. Just to compare real quick, I just set aside a 64D on the next roll. If you guys can remember the mint mark on the last nickel we looked at, it looked nothing like this. And this is what typically every mint mark will look like. So there's something going on there. I think I'm going to look up the RPMs for that year on Variety Vista and see what they're looking like. Do my own research. and I'll probably let you guys know in the wrap up if we got a good one or not. I'm wondering if we may be on a collection dump here. A couple rows later, we have another 59D. Probably even better shape than the first one. Can actually see probably a step or two on the reverse. So I'm going to put that aside with the other one. Those are some pretty good finds right there. Nothing super old yet, but I'm liking where that's going. Hopefully there are more old nickels like that to be found that are pretty close to uncirculated condition. I'm going to be on the board with my first 40s find in the next roll. This one is going to be a 1947 Philadelphia. It's 3 finds and we are only, I believe, on the 6th roll, so that's not too bad. So roll 8's got a pretty crazy ender, so I had to get the tripod out. This is going to be a King George nickel, so I'm assuming that's going to be from late 30s to early 50s. That's when these were minted. That's a pretty old worn nickel. I may have found 1 or 2 of these before. I can't really remember, but they're not easy to find in the U.S. I definitely haven't come across many of them. If I have come across any, I just can't remember. But there is some writing on this side of the roll, so I'm going to keep that concealed. I think it has the guy's name, maybe his address. Kind of scribbled it, but I don't want to give away who this person is, just for their privacy. But we're going to go ahead and dump this out and look through it live, see what we got. I definitely see a lot of Canadians in there. Let me move the tripod so we can get it all into focus. Sorry about that. So let's take a look at the King George first. That's going to be a 1947. And I believe that's going to be the maple leaf variety, which is kind of new to me. I thought those were only on the 47 pennies, but I guess it was all denominations. And that had something to do with, I believe India was not a British territory at that point in 1947 anymore. They gained their independence. So this maple leaf kind of signifies that King George wasn't under rule of India at that point of the year. They hadn't like developed new coins without the India. Honestly, I don't know what that's all short for, but it's something India, imperial. But that's pretty sweet. Let's see what else we're working with. I'll zoom back out. So we've got a 68 there. Nothing good really with that. Those are going to be almost 100% nickel though, so I'll probably just pull these older Canadians aside. 69 Canadian, 73. Wonder if there's going to be any good US coins in here. Move those to the side. 76, 75. Looks like we might have had a Canadian coin collector here. 87, 64, 88, 74 Canadian. There's a 65 right there. Nothing good with the US so far. Oh, there's another King George peeking out right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's pretty awesome. Let's see the date on that one. 1950. Too bad that wasn't a US nickel. I could have got maybe my second 50D of the hunt. We'll put that next to the other King George over here. This is cool. We've got a Young Head 1961, and it's got that same like unusual shape that the King George had. 78 Canadian. There's another 78. Just gonna pick up a big clump here and look through them. 64, that's in pretty good shape, but I'm not gonna hold on to it. This is gonna be a 77. We got another old Canadian right there. Oh, okay, that one's 1956. Should be a Young Head. Yep. Make a pile of the older ones over there. 1981. Looks like we've got a 1980 right there. 74, 87, 75, and I think that's going to be it. So let me get these into the frame here. Get those junk US nickels out of there. But we've got a 1950, a 47. I believe this one was a, yep, 56. And these are all various dates. I think the oldest one was 61, and then we have all the way up to the 80s, I believe. So somebody definitely dumped their Canadian nickel collection, and we were able to get a few old ones out of it. So that was really cool. And hopefully there are more rolls like that. I don't see any that look like this kind of wrapper in particular, but I've had collection dumps where people use all sorts of different wrappers. So we'll see if we can keep this streak alive. That was a fun roll. And we'll get on to the next. Second to last roll is going to give me a pretty disgusting 1947. It's going to get all this garbage all over my hands. Never know what's on these coins. You always want to wash your hands when you're done. But actually, if we take a closer look, we are going to have a lamination crack going through the T and truss and then up to Jefferson's head there. So I'll get that one under the scope and give you guys a better look at it momentarily. There's that lamination crack nice and close up here. I'll move the coin a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing. Starts right past the T and goes up to Jefferson's forehead there. Really nice example there. I do find these a lot on the older coins, but I always love finding them. Especially the nickels. I've found one even before on a Buffalo nickel, but a lot of the older Jeffersons are going to have this error. Not a lot of them, but like they do pop up from time to time. So for those that don't know what a lamination crack is, so a coin, before it becomes a coin, is a planchet, so it's just a disc of metal. And it's heated up really nice and good before it's stamped, just to make the metal more malleable a little bit. And if dust or any foreign material gets on that planchet, like while it's all hot, it's gonna weaken the metal while it's still hot. So then after it's stamped and it hardens back out, it's gonna actually crack the metal. So this is like a physical crack in the coin, which I think is a really cool error. And they're all unique. Like no lamination crack's gonna be the same because they, they're gonna crack in different places depending on where the dust is, or, they might be longer cracks or thicker cracks. There's even coins with like lamination issues so bad that like the whole coin is just cracking up, literally. Like the whole thing will just be full of cracks. I've never found any that crazy yet. I have found some pretty decent ones, but definitely something to keep an eye out for when you're hunting nickels, or any older coins for that matter, but mainly nickels is where I find them. Found a couple pennies with these, but the vast majority have been the good old Jeffersons. That's going to do it for this customer wrapped hunt. It was quite the amazing hunt. I think as far as like I'm assuming this wasn't from a collection dump, these war nickels. I think that's the most I've found other than a collection dump, 4. Typically like 3 is like the most I've found in boxes or whatever. So 4, that was fantastic. We also got one in pretty solid shape right here. This was the one that I couldn't tell was a war nickel right off the bat, just because it's, the rim's not even a normal war nickel color. That one's going to be a 44P. Then the rest of these are Philadelphia minted, except for this one. That's an S. We got P there, and then Philadelphia on the 44. This one I actually put under the scope, and I still can't tell if those are lamination cracks or damage. It's pretty hard to see even under a microscope. That's hit or miss if it is or not. I'll just put it with the rest of my silver either way. It's not anything valuable. We've got the 64 dime from today. That's just going to be Philly minted as well. And then the gem of the hunt was my second ever 1950D. I think earlier in the video I said 3 weeks ago I found one. It was actually 2 weeks. I looked back at when I filmed that clip. It was 2 weeks ago from the day that I found this, which was a couple days before I'm filming now, because I went back and got those other coins. But man, that's a beauty. I mean, it's hard enough to find a 50D and in shape like that. I mean, that's amazing. The other one I found was horrible. Like, as far as condition, it was pretty bad. I had a lot of people commenting, talking about how it's pretty much worthless or whatever. I mean, I don't really care. It was just like a rare coin to find in circulation. I was really happy about it. But I never thought I'd find one again, or at least for a very long time. And 2 weeks later, I've got one in almost like mint condition. It's got a bunch of steps on the reverse. I still can't get over that. If I find another one within a couple weeks, I gotta go buy some lotto tickets or something, because that is very, very slim odds right there. Only 2.6 million of these were minted, just to let you guys know, and they've been hoarded by collectors since like the 50s. People have just been taking them out of circulation ever since they first came out, just because they knew they were so low mintage. So most of these sit in collections nowadays. Now this one's going to be in mine, but just crazy that I found that in circulation, and I found one 2 weeks before that. Moving on, we've got our older Jeffersons here. I'd say this is the best of the bunch. We've got a 38. It's not an amazing condition. I've definitely found better, but it's a nice looking Jefferson, especially for the age. I've got a few other 30s and a bunch of 40s. The one lamination crack that I already went over right there. Got 5 wheat pennies, all common 40s and 50s dates. The two 59D nickels. This one's still stumping me right here. I looked at Variety Vista, and I wasn't seeing any RPMs that looked exactly like that. But at the same time, I don't see any damage by the mint mark either. I don't see any scratches or anything that would make me to believe that was damaged. So really torn on that one. I'd like some more opinions. I still don't know what I have, but I definitely will keep it aside because it's something interesting for sure. On to the Canadians here. We've got the, so it's a 50 or the, okay, 47 with that, that's the maple leaf I was referring to earlier. It's just a little one next to the date. I found pennies with that before, but no other denomination, so that was really cool to see for sure. That's going to be the 1950, and then we have a 61 and a 56 was the last one. As long as we're on the topic of Canadians here, this is going to be the rest of the haul from that roll. Nothing too crazy. These are all like 60s and newer. And no young heads. All the young heads I moved over here. So these are all the, I don't even know what portrait that's considered, like a middle-aged portrait maybe. But anyway, the two other notable finds of the hunt here are going to be a 2009 Lincoln commemorative cent. These, they do show up in a lot of penny hunts, but they are a little bit tougher to come by. People have been pulling these aside for a while now. And then we've got the Jim Thorpe $1 Sacagawea coin. And this, I believe, was a 2018 D. Yeah, 2018 D. And this was not made for circulation. So somebody busted this bad boy out of a mint set, turned it into the bank, and then I ended up buying it. But that will do it for the video here. Thank you guys for watching this one. I'm sure you guys probably enjoyed seeing these finds here. I sure had a great time looking through these coins. But thank you guys so much again for watching. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing hunts like this all the time. Maybe not this good with a 50D, but I'll be pulling some silver probably. If you're already subscribed, feel free to smash that like button. It helps me out, helps more people to see my videos. And I hope everyone has a great day.